Cool. Scary thing going. Alright. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Truth Podcast. My name is Neek Robinson. Glad you guys are tuned in today. Happy Monday to one and all, everybody that's out there listening today. The Truth Podcast comes to you live on iTunes, also SoundCloud and YouTube, so make sure that you guys go check those out on there. But today, the topic that I kind of wanted to get into is something that I've personally kind of like struggled with, especially in like the past year or so, and it's kind of this idea basically of like having all of these ideas and not knowing how to execute them, or kind of being just like overcome, or like just I don't even know how to explain it. Like I have like so many ideas that I want to execute, but I kind of get discouraged sometimes because I don't know how to execute them, and something that I've been trying to do is just staying calm, and just trying to figure out as the ideas can come into fruition. I think that life is honestly just a big game of chess. You can't win a game of chess off the first move. Like you have to keep kind of going at it ever so slightly. Like you have to move your pawns out, and then you have to be able to take other pieces and everything and then apply it to your own life. That's kind of like how I like to think of life in general. So with this, like how I have so many ideas, and my mind is very creative. Like I always have something that I want to try. Like I want to like obviously like I've done a few things, like starting a podcast is like my main thing that I'm doing right now. Also I've tried to create like a clothing line. That's like what I'm doing right at this very moment as well. And then obviously like I've been doing a lot of photography and videography and things of that nature. But there are a lot of other ideas that I have kind of in my head, and it could be involving those as well. Or it could be like other business ventures, or things that I'm not too familiar with, and I don't really know how to ask them or execute them, I guess. But basically, like I'm just here to tell you that if you guys are struggling with this too, because I know that a lot of my creative homies have a lot of different ideas as well, and I kind of wanted to just create this, and just to kind of be open and honest about my experiences with that. I've had a ton of ideas over the course of really my whole entire life that they come into my head, and I'm like, oh shoot, like this could be like $1 million idea, or this could potentially be something big that I want to get into. Like I've thought about a lot of different things, man. Like I've thought about creating a coffee company. I think that that's going to be something that I want to chase here in the near future. I've thought about getting into the food industry. I've thought just about a lot of different things, and I think that I've kind of just taken a step back from overthinking everything and just tried to stay in my own lane for a second and just take in my surroundings. And if I meet somebody, or I pick up some little nuggets of information that can put me down that path later in life, then that's the time that I know that is the right time to be pursuing that dream or that idea of mine. Because I've been something that I would advise everybody to do is to kind of keep a little journal with you. I know I've talked about this on the podcast a lot previously, but honestly, like if you have an idea that comes to your head, something little that you could do is just write it down. Or just like text it to a buddy of yours or something like that, and see if they think it's a good idea. But as long as you have that idea written down. There's something about it that you can always refer back to it, or it's interesting being able to write something down. You're kind of I don't know, you're teaching yourself conscious or whatever, that you kind of want to do this or whatever, and then you kind of think about that idea later down in life. Like, you could be sitting in a random setting, and you could just remember, like, oh, I said that I wanted to start a coffee company. Oh, I wanted to do this. I wanted to do that. So, if you have a lot of these ideas and everything that are kind of just all over the place in your head and you're not too sure how to execute them, just the first step that you can honestly take is just to write them down. And I think that my mind is it's very creative, like I've said earlier, but I also have like this very like entrepreneurial spirit as well. So, I'm always trying to figure out ways that I can make money, or, just try to create some other type of business. And something that I've kind of learned, in the business world is that you have to diversify yourself. You have to diversify your income, because like there's a lot of people in the United States, especially, no joke to anybody that does this, but a lot of people, they rely on just one source of income, and that is the majority of the middle class, versus like the rich and higher classes of people. They don't just have one main source of income, they have like multiple strands. So I think that the magical number, supposedly, is around 6. So if you guys can build 6 sources of income, I know that sounds like a lot, but if you can somehow, some way build 6 sources of income, you could definitely well be on your way of creating yourself into a millionaire, billionaire, whatever the case is. And that just comes with also learning how to save money and all that different stuff. And I'm kind of going off on a tangent, but I think that a lot of people will take some value from this, just because if you're trying to get into business, and also if you're a creative, you have to, if you want to take your creative ventures and everything to the next level and trying to make it into a business, then you have to almost be a businessman or woman in a sense, and you have to learn how to do the little things, just trying to keep track of your expenses, and also like learning how to make those different sources of income as well, and that just comes with just taking yourself seriously at first, and also just figuring out the things that you want to do and you want to create, and that you want to take this seriously, and what are those 6 main things that are going to make you some money and ultimately like create this life and this lifestyle for you. So that's kind of the whole preface of this podcast. Like, honestly, I just wanted to kind of talk about just this idea of just trying to stay calm in these situations, because a lot of people, they can go through some severe type of like things like depression, or not knowing what's going to come next, and kind of letting that take control of their creative flow and energy and everything. And I wanted this podcast to kind of be that emotional backing of that I've been there as well. I know a bunch of people that I talk to also have been in those same shoes. It just kind of comes with opening up to the people around you to kind of learn those things. So if you guys are out there struggling, if you're a creative, if you're a businessman, if you're a person that is walking on this earth and you're hearing this podcast, just know that a lot of people do struggle with this as well, and you're not the only one. You're not alone. I just wanted to spread this love and positivity, and just to kind of give you this emotional backing that, there's a lot of people out there that struggle with the same things that we all do on a day-to-day basis. So, we are all connected as human beings, whether you like it or not. There could be one instance in the world that could end up just taking it could affect a lot of different lives. I think we're in a very vital time where, there's a lot of different things going on, and it can definitely affect others around each other, and it could affect communities, it could affect countries, it could affect the world. So just kind of be conscientious of what you are doing and what you're putting out into the world, and also your energy, and just try to stay positive, man, because there's something very powerful about having just a positive mindset just in your entire life. So just remember to stay positive, stay humble, stay hungry, and all of that, and you guys will make it through just fine. I know you guys will. But ladies and gentlemen, that is about it for today's podcast. I just kind of wanted to hop on here and talk to you guys on this Monday, and just kind of give you guys a little backstory of where I've been, and the things that have been going on in my mind. So tweet me down below if you guys want any certain topics for me to touch on. I would love to touch on any type of topic. I'll put like a little Instagram thing saying like, hey, I'm podcasting today, what are some topics that you guys want to hear? So definitely just hit me up on there. Hit me up in the DMs if you would like to get on the podcast. This week I am doing a lot of different podcasts, so I'm going to have a lot of different guest episodes coming up in the near future, so always stay tuned for that. And I'll see you guys next week with a brand new guest as well, so stay on the lookout for that. But ladies and gentlemen, this is it for today's episode. My name is Neek Robinson, your host of this show, and I'm going to get out of here now. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it. Peace, everybody. Peace to the world.